So often we lose games not because our opponent is way better than us, but we just beat ourselves. Whether it's a gameplay mechanic we don't know, a bad decision we keep making that costs us a turnover, or just bad habits that we don't even realize. This video we're talking about the biggest mistakes that are losing you games, how to fix them, and by the end of it, you're going to be a much better college football 25 player who's going to be winning a lot more games. So let's get into this. We're going to talk about here how to get your pass rushers to actually get after the quarterback better and to stop doing something that might be hurting you, okay? So, first and foremost, when we're rushing the passer, I'm talking about right now our defensive lineman, really anybody who's just getting after it, right? Just getting after it against the offensive lineman. Right here, we have 3 defensive linemen. Now, look at our outermost defensive lineman. Both of these guys are in blitz, just normal blitzes. If I double tap right bumper or R1, that is going to bring up a contain. Tap it once, tap it twice, that's going to be QB contain. Notice now these outside rushers are in hooks. These hooks are called contains, and they're very good at keeping the quarterback in the pocket. Watch right here. I try rolling out. You just can't roll out on contains very well. There's workarounds for that, but that's a different topic for a different day. Now, the issue with contains is that if I snap this ball right here without contains, watch my outside pass rushers here. They're going to get into essentially like trying to spin, trying to rip, whatever. You see it right there. They're able to get through. If I contain, we're essentially going to take 2 pass rushers and say, hey, don't worry about rushing the passer here. Instead, we're worried about just keeping that passer, the quarterback, in the pocket. So it's going to really hurt their pass rushing ability. It doesn't totally get rid of it. It just hurts it a lot. Notice the guy on the right side. He's kind of just trying to, stay free. He's not even trying to really shed. He'll shed eventually, or if I, roll outside the pocket, he'll shed. But he's not, getting after the quarterback. So contains, while they're great for keeping the quarterback in the pocket, it's going to make it way hard. Notice that guy on the right. He's not getting outside at all. If I try rolling out, we break his sack. But, you get what I'm saying here? Contains will hurt your pass rush a ton. They can be good for blitzes, good for different things, but they can hurt your pass rush a ton. So if you're in a situation like this where you're only sending 3, well, we really only have 1 pass rusher right here, which is my nose tackle, right? A good time to use contains, in my opinion, if we're just running a standard pass rush, is something like this, where we have 4 defensive linemen, and when we contain here, we're going to have that same interior pressure, right? We have 2 people attacking the interior, but then we're also going to hold contains on the outside. So we're going to collapse the middle of the pocket, and then we're able to contain. That's a huge thing. But here, if the interior of the offensive line or your interior defensive linemen are really bad, or the O-line's really good, well, guess what? You only really have 2 people rushing the passer here, right? In this case, it works out, but you can see how if those 2 guys got dominated, your other 2 guys are just in contains. If you're ever playing against a pocket quarterback, you don't need contains. There's no reason to. And real quick, if you want to know the exact plays you should be calling on offense and defense to start winning more games, join my community of over 2,000 active members who get instant access to my offensive and defensive schemes. And the content here isn't just by me, it's by other top players in the world, and it has everything you need to if you just want to start winning. Right now, with the link in the top description, you can click that and use code CIVIL30 to get 30% off and unlock everything you could ever want to win more games of College Football 25. So once you go do that, again, link top description. Let's get back to the video. This is one of, if not the most commonly misused or just underused feature in the game, and this is going to change your offense once you start doing it. Now, this is the idea of highballing. You highball by pressing the left bumper, that's L1 on PlayStation, and let me show you what this bad boy can do. Highballing, if we don't do it right here, I'm going to throw it to A, I'm not going to highball. Notice where that ball goes. If you don't highball, the ball's going to go about chest level typically, depending on if it's a good throw or not, okay? That's what not highballing looks like. Let's look at what highballing will do, though. So when I go to pass the ball, when I hit my A icon, I'm going to hold left bumper, all right? So let's watch what happens here. I hold left bumper, I throw that ball, and now notice the difference between those. If we show these clips, one was done at the chest level, and the other was caught at above the head. Highballing is going to put that ball above the head. Well, why is that significant? Well, let's take a look at a throw again to my tight end, my A wide receiver right here. When I throw this ball with a normal pass lead, if there's a defender underneath, it could get played. That could be a pick. If there's a defender underneath and I highball it, think about it. That ball is going to go higher, so therefore, the defender underneath probably won't be able to make as much of a play on it. And we do that right here. you see what happens. We get it above that defender. And it makes sense, right? If you put the ball higher, the defender won't be able to, the defender who's underneath isn't going to be able to get there. So the rule of thumb for me, basic rule of thumb, is that if there's a defender underneath the throw we're trying to hit, we want to high ball. But that's not all. When we high ball, we can actually do all three catch types still. We can possession catch, that's A or X on PlayStation. We can rat catch, that's X or square on PlayStation. Or we can aggressive catch, that's Y or triangle on PlayStation. Those all have a little bit of different purposes, and it kind of depends on the situation. Right here on the sideline, you're seeing me possession catch a ton, but I could go for an aggressive catch. Let's see if it overrides me out here. And you'll see a little bit of an aggressive catch right there, where I go up and get the ball, and we're able to keep running after it, which sometimes aggressive catches and rat catches can look the same on high balls. Just keep that in mind. But right here, I did an aggressive catch that time. Watch me possession catch. That's A or X on PlayStation. Watch me possession catch this. Let's do it again. Sometimes I will say, with rat catch or with high balls, sometimes the catch animations can end up looking a little bit similar. There are different situations where they can apply. Let's go here again. This time we go for that possession catch, and nice. Now we're getting just a little rack animation over and over again. My first couple of clips, you saw me fall down. Let's do this again right here. You can still trigger these if needed. Again, we're able to get just a rat catch right there. Nice. Let's go one more time. Can we please get this? Sometimes it does depend on where you are on the field here as well. So I don't mind you guys kind of seeing this for a little bit. There's a possession catch. We get it out of bounds, but there's that possession catch. And it can depend a little bit on where you are in the actual field. Another situation where you can use this is over the middle of the field. So let's go here. I'll just throw my hooks at 5 for the sake of seeing this. And let's go to this. Now, X right here is going to attack behind the in routes. If I just throw this, it could be scary, especially if there's like a user kind of playing underneath, right? Whereas notice if I highball it using the left bumper, we're going to get that to be very, very easy. Right there, I possession caught that highball. Notice where my receiver caught it. Okay, let's go here again. Notice the possession catch. That, again, is a highball. Notice where he's catching it. And if you want to see what a non-highball looks like, notice where he's catching it. That's also a possession catch. So big difference in the catches. If I wanted to rack this, though, I could hold left bumper, bang. That's a rat catch. Notice how I'm going to catch that, try to go and stride a little bit. All right, so a few different situations that you can use it in. I always bullet pass when I highball. I almost always bullet pass. The only times I would not bullet pass is if I was throwing like a lob or something. So if I was maybe throwing to Y right here on like a lob, I might highball lob it. Just try to get it as far out in front of him as I possibly can. But that's really the only time. Bullet passes or high balls should be used with bullet passes. All right, boys, I'm hitting A on this route right here. No matter, like, he's going to be wide open, I guarantee it. Do we know the mistake I already just made? Even if A ends up being open, which I guess he holds on to it right there. We never, ever, ever want to just stare down a single receiver on any play. So many people do this, and it's such a bad problem because every play you're calling first of all, should have numerous routes that are attacking parts of the field that could get open, right? They have the potential of getting open based on if the defense does X, Y, or Z, okay? The next thing is that we shouldn't do this because what if A just is, what if this guy's not open, but he's the guy who I said I was going to throw no matter what? What happens then? I just throw a pick, I take a sack, or I don't make it to my other reads? Let me instead show you a better way that at least has worked for me over many years of playing. And by the way, this route combo right here is it's from my Georgia offensive scheme over on civil.gg. One of my favorite schemes on it. But this play right here, first thing I'm checking is this drag. But I'm not actually just staring at Y. Why is the drag? I'm not just staring at him. Instead, I'm looking at the area of the field that he's attacking. And then if he's not there, I'm going to work my eyes to my next read, which in this case is going to be quickly looking up to my crosser. So we have this guy. So first I'm checking drag, then I'm checking here. Then I'm going to work my eyes back to this seam streak from the halfback, okay? That's kind of my progression. So quickly, boom, check that area. It's there. Cool. Okay? Next, this play, I'm going to pretend like that area is not there, even if it is, just for the sake of you guys seeing it. But if it was there, like in a game, I'd throw this, okay? So we're here. I don't like that area. We're looking. Okay, I won. And sometimes your second read, for me a lot of times, like is actually like 2 reads at once. So for me, I'm kind of looking at that tight end crosser and the halfback seam at all at the same time. And I look at the areas. Boom, Y, we'll pretend he's not there. I work my eyes up, not there, right? And then we work back. And then usually by then, once you get through about 3 or 4 reads, usually you have to make something happen, right? And that last play I showed, though, I should have hit Y. I'm just using it for demonstrative purposes. I didn't, okay? Right here, not there, okay? Boom. Bang. Now, I will say, sometimes you'll have reads that, like, for example, this deep out route where I might notice after the play or pre-snap, I want to make him kind of an emphasis. Like right here, I really like what that deep out route looks like. So I'm checking wide triangle. No, okay, deep out. And I could have maybe even cheated and made him the first read on that play. The point being is that when you have your first read, if it's not there, we have to get off of it. When you identify something's not open, you have to say, I'm not throwing him, okay? Right there, I made that deep out route my first read. If that area of the field I felt like was going to be open, I was going to hit it. But if it was taken away, like right here, we'll go deep out. I don't like it. Okay, we're back to everything else. Don't like the drag. We got crosser. See what I'm saying? That's where we're working our eyes from. And a good play, something that's actually good that you should actually be calling, should have numerous routes that you're able to hit, right? If you're only throwing one route consistently on a play, it's probably not a very good play. Like, it might be good against the CPU, maybe. It might be good against kind of bums online. But if you're not able to hit numerous players, it's probably not a great route. One thing I will say about halfback streaks, I find they're great against people online. Halfback streaks, though, against CPU, I don't know. I just feel like they don't run defenses where they get open a ton. But notice I'm able to hit numerous people. That means this is a really good play. You should even steal this baby. It's called Exit PA Will Shot. Really, really good. All right, situation here. We got 2:36 left in the first half. We're down by 7. This is a mistake I see so many people make. And there's a lot of different ways you can tackle this. But game management here is so dang important throughout an entire game. And what we want to do is the easy rule of thumb, because there's a lot of different ways to play this. For me, though, this is really like, I don't think you can even really argue against this a ton, is to the best of your ability, you want to end both halves, the first half and the second half, with ball, or at the very least, give your opponent as little time to respond as possible, right? So right here, we're down 7. I really don't want to score a touchdown this play. Now, if a touchdown's wide open, right, we'll take it. But I'm probably not going to call a coverage beater this play, right? Because I don't want him to have ball to come answer back. Unless, if I have a coverage beater, maybe I try milking some more time before using it, right? Maybe I call a run play here, and then I use that coverage beater. The whole point of what I'm making is that everything we do, we want to milk a good amount of time, or as much time as possible, and just not give our opponent time to answer back. Right here, we're moving the ball down the field, we get a first down. Well, I'm not going to go hurry up and immediately snap the ball because I also have 3 timeouts, so I feel really good about the time on the clock. I'm instead slow it down. I don't need to change my play calling necessarily. I think that's something that some people will do, which is like they'll start calling like kind of bad plays or run plays with the intentions of killing the clock. I don't want to do that, but I do want to drip this clock down some. So now I'm underneath 10. It's like, okay, yeah, let's snap this ball now. Okay, we're chilling. I'll go to the zig route again. Cool. And now you kind of have to play a little bit of a game with yourself of where you feel comfortable. Like a minute 20 for me, I'm like, at this distance, okay. Again, ideally, I don't want to score a one-play touchdown right here. Maybe not yet, although if it's there, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But instead, maybe I take a shot right here. Ends up being incomplete. A minute 09. We have 3 timeouts still, so it's like, okay, it's fine. Let's go here again. And now, especially if I can like get this underneath 40 seconds, it's like cool, right? Let's go here. We got X. Cool. Okay, minute 04. 3 timeouts. You could, some of this is like kind of up to you where you feel comfortable at. Against, in this situation, I'm like, let's keep running this clock some. I'll go to something like this. Especially with 3 timeouts, you have so much flexibility, I feel like. We're here. We'll go RB. Okay. Maybe we keep going. 53 on the clock, 3 timeouts. You could call run play here, but notice how I'm not really taking shots to the end zone. I don't mind big plays, but I'm not taking shots to the end zone. Now, on defense, you have to start considering calling some timeouts on your end so that you could get the ball back. Because the offense isn't really pressed for time here. At least, in my opinion, for me, right? This is something that can be situational per player. Let's go here. We're able to hit this deep out. Now we're 35 seconds. And really, for the most part, inside of 40 seconds, you can really start, like, who cares? Your opponent would have to do some, like, he'd have to be pretty good at the game to really get down the field in 35 seconds. Although, the lower we can take this, the better, right? If we can milk this all the way down, and right here, if you're on defense, you call a timeout. But if you can milk this on offense down more, which here, I would milk this to underneath 15 seconds. Because I have 3 timeouts, I can do whatever I want. 15 seconds is more than enough time to call 3 plays, or even, a 4th play being the field goal. So it's like, okay, let's wait. Okay, now we'll call our play, right? Bang. Take it up the middle. Cool. Now I'll call my timeout. Because at this point, we're chilling. Now we'll just go into our normal red zone, which in this case, I mean, I don't use Clemson playbook very often. So let's go a little, let's get heavy. Let's get heavy here, boys. Bang. Clemson. Oh, gosh, we got put down. Timeout. But again, 9 seconds. Like, this is the ideal drive, and we didn't really, like, limit ourselves on what we had to call or anything, right? We just did what we had to do. Let's go here. Let's see. I don't know. I'm curious what we can do here. I'm kind of trying, like, to figure this out. Let's go something like this. X. No! It just hit me in the side. Are you kidding me? What a freaking joke, dude. All right, we got to get in right here. I like everything we're cooking. I actually don't like everything I say that, but I actually don't like everything we're cooking. Oh, we're bagged. We're bagged. We got dot. Dot! That technically is the perfect drive. Ideally, you just scored underneath 45 seconds, though. All right, so now I want to talk about one that so many people make a mistake of, especially if you're somebody who kind of will use certain plays from different videos, maybe schemes, ebooks, etc., or you just have set plays that you really, really like, right? Let's call this one I'm running right here a straight money play. Like, it's open. Something's open every time. We're just pretending a little bit, okay? Play with me. Now, let's say here, right, we go boom, and then I go to call this same play, and now I'm getting insta-sacked, essentially. Does this play suck? No. Okay, the play doesn't just suck because I'm starting to get insta-sacked now. One of the biggest things that we have to keep in mind as an offensive player is our blocking, specifically with our tight end and our halfback. These are massive, okay? Whenever somebody is starting to send some pressure at you, at any given point, if you are running some sort of like very like core play to your scheme, you need to be willing and pre-snap think about whether or not you need to block your halfback or your tight end. Because if they send pressure at you and you don't have that guy blocked, it doesn't matter how good that play is, how much of a money scheme cheese play it is, it's not going to work anymore if you don't have the time to do it. Now, let me throw you an alternative because that may have sounded obvious, okay? Let's throw you one extra where let's say that this is the money play right here, and I'm going to go into dime, but we'll go 3-3 stack right here, nickel 3-3 stack, okay? Now, the money play here is actually, this is our setup for it, okay? This is our setup, and we snap this ball, and you see, what did the defense do right here? The defense blitzed 3 people, right? We all agree? And the setup for this is I have to block my halfback. That's how I set this play up. It's blocked halfback's the setup, or maybe it's a blocked tight end or something. I don't know. But the defense, again, I'm playing somebody who's only sending 3 people. I can look pre-snap and kind of tell that. One of the biggest mistakes people make is that they will go up against this type of defense and continuously block their halfback. If you are not being blitzed, you need to send out all 5 routes. That means your wide receivers, your halfbacks, your tight ends. The only reason you should be blocking is because they're sending a blitz at you. Okay, that is why. That drop back that wasn't even me. That was just the game that just dropped me back that far. That was weird. But I'm hoping that makes sense because so many people will do something like this where they block their halfback and their tight end, but then they go up against a defense that's only sending 3 people, 4 people, maybe 5 people. And it's like, well, now you have no way of getting things open because you only have a few routes on the field, right? We want to have as many routes on the field as possible while still giving us enough time to pick up everybody. Keep in mind that you have 5 offensive linemen, okay? So if they're sending a blitz of 5 people, there's a good chance your offensive line will be able to block it themselves. Usually, though, my super rule of thumb, if you want to play it safe, is however many people you're afraid of them blitzing. So let's say right here we go, let's just say we go to double mug. Okay, beautiful. So, you know, I'm a little, maybe right here, I like this. Well, we could, if we have to, we could go +1. Okay, so in this case, I'm afraid of, let's say, 6 people blitzing. One thing I'll do is block an extra person, so I'll go +1, that'd be 7. Okay, now that's an extreme. Ideally, if I think they're blitzing 6, I block 6. Okay, that's an ideal. But to get safe with this, if we think they're if we can't do it 6 on 6, we would do it 7 on 6. We could do +1. You never want to be in a spot where you're blocking too many people for no reason, or you're not blocking enough people, because both of those, no matter how good the play is, will kill your plays. The number of people you block is so important, and if you don't know where to start with this, if this feels like more of an advanced concept, just dumb it all the way down and just say, do you think you need to block your halfback on this play or not? If yes, then cool. If no, Right there, I needed to. Right? If the answer is yes, then you should probably block him. If the answer is no, you're good. Right? You'll be wrong on this, but just thinking about it, I promise you, will make your plays so much better. This is something I see so many people do, especially when I play against them, that just isn't that good, that doesn't work out as much as you think it is, even though it's so many people want to do this. And it's the idea that whenever you see press coverage on offense, so many people just want to take a deep shot right here. And they just want to do it by just putting a streak over there or a fade or whatever it might be and just kind of lobbing the ball up. And the fact of the matter is that this isn't that good. It's not a very high success throw. It's not a very smart throw. It's a kind of a waste of a down a lot of the times. Unless you have, there's a couple of situations where this makes sense to kind of go for a one-on-one shot. If there is a crazy overall difference right here, if there's a crazy ability right here, or your guy just wins on the streak and he's actually just open, that's fair. What I see a lot of people do is something like this, and they just throw this up. It's like, this is just low success rate. Even right there, like, the only reason we caught that is because the game kind of dumbed out, and that's 1 out of 4 times we've had it. There's some value in that. I just see so many people see this one-on-one shot, and they just go to it. And again, we catch this ball because the game dumbs out, and that should have been picked off. And if you're playing somebody online, this is what's going to happen online, is you throw this ball up, they click on another controller, and they pick the ball off. And then your one-on-one shot becomes interception. And notice how the first time I even tried on defense, I was able to pick it off. It's just not a super high percentage ball unless you have like the abilities over there or something like that that can really make it worthwhile, then sure. But just because you see press coverage, I wouldn't be like, oh, streak, touchdown. You can consider it, but I honestly wouldn't even make that like I wouldn't even stare at that for a second, because by staring at it, you miss underneath routes. Nice. But you really do. Like, by staring at that streak, you miss this drag in this little window right here, which is a great area. He really drops that and then catches the other one. I love this game. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you stare down one route, therefore you're not looking at other routes. And with a route that is such a low percentage of even getting open, like just a regular streak, it's just not the best use of where our eyes can go. Like, oh, I was hoping. I'll throw one more jump ball as a little. Let's see if we can get it. I'm not even pressing anymore. But you see, even against a non-press, it's just like they get to the same spot. So the press part of it doesn't even, unless you just win, the press part doesn't matter. You have like platinum takeoff, different. You have like McMillan from, I can't remember, what's his name? The Arizona wide receiver? Fair. If you have Travis Hunter, fair, right? There's a few guys, but for the most part, I would stay away from it, I think. I see this one so much, and honestly, I like seeing this because it's such an easy fix for people, so it's like, oh, it makes, like, it's such low-hanging fruit. All right, let's look at the defense right here, okay? Looks like a cover 3. We're sending a cover 3 blitz at him, but if we watch this, we see cover 3, we have a deep blue on the right side. Watch this right side right here, because when I snap this ball, you're going to see something happen where this right side is a one-play touchdown. What's happening? Every cover 3 blitz in this game is a match coverage, even though it doesn't show it, okay? And what I mean by show it. If you look at the top left, you see this tag? See how it says cover 3 match right there? And it says match as the tag. Well, if we go down to, where was that blitz? Overload 3 seam, that says blitz, right? It doesn't say match. So you might not think it's match. But when we call this play, watch what this high safety does on the right. He's in a seam flat, right? This guy right here is in a deep blue. So what do? They match, actually. They don't do what you would think they do. They're going to end up matching, and that can prevent, or that can lead to some one-play touchdowns. Easy way to stop any kind of match coverage. This goes for a regular match, cover 3 match, cover 4 palms, quarters, any kind of match. Is press wire triangle on defense, and then shade either underneath or over top. My favorite is to shade underneath, but you could shade over top as well. Keep in mind, cover 3 blitzes often have massive holes in their coverage, but that's a topic for a different day. This will purely show you how to stop the match coverage. And notice right here, this is no longer a one-play touchdown. This is an overthrow. But there's a guy right there. They just play their zones, right? I think we can all see that. Look at their zones. Look at the play. We snap it. And when we go to throw this ball, this is no longer a one-play touchdown. It is now a pick waiting to happen. That's how you turn off match coverage. Again, same thing applies to all match if it has that match tag or not. Simply shade your coverage underneath or over top. That's wire triangle on the PlayStation, then up or down on the right stick. That's going to help you prevent a lot of one-play touchdowns. Now, if you felt like you learned something from that, you're going to get a lot of value out of my strategy website, civil.gg, which is linked in the top of the description. Over 2,000 active members, and right now you can get 30% off everything you need to start winning more games with code Civil30. Just simply use that code and you'll unlock everything you need for 30% off. Link to that top description. I'll see you guys all over there.